Hello, Houston, and hello, USA. This is yours truly, Dr. Vicky Cruz with the Hero Network. We're going to give you some insights. We're going to also have some wonderful information, exciting news, and a partner, one of our cherished partners. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce to you today's co-host is Coach Hero Anna Garza.
Hi, welcome everybody.
Yes. Anna Garza and I are going to provide you some updates as to what's happening, what is going to happen, and talk to you just a little bit about how Hero has taken off at Milby High School. So if you see us with the blue Hero shirt, right? And we're wearing that these are the colors of Milby High School. I am an alumni, class of 19. I won't tell you which class. No, it's 91 of the Milby High School, and we are celebrating our centennial. My dear Anna here next to me is also a Milby alumni. And Anna, you want to share with our guests a little bit about your experience these last months with Hero at Milby?
Yes, it has been wonderful. Just working with you, Vicky. You're inspiring, so I know you're helping me, and that helps me to help others. So it's just like they say, pay it forward. Pay it forward with one another. That's right. What community is. It's being united, not judging each other because of race or how we look, what we have, what we don't have, but for the greater purpose, for the good of the community.
That's right. It's teaching the community, teaching not just the community, but being who we need to do to be our own hero. What is hero? Helpful, encouraging, respectful, and on task. At home, school, the community, and like the students say, most importantly, ourselves. That's the number one. When we can teach and train our students these values, these core principles, the rest is history. Yes. So listen, so we are going to talk about Impact Day, just really brief. It's happening this Friday at Milby High School. Coach Anna and many other coaches are going to be out there. Our partners, the school. This is our 99th year. And we are not just going to talk about Hero Impact. We're not going to just talk about the centennial and all the alumni, but we are going to memorialize 5 Buffaloes who this year alone passed away. 2 were due to suicide. 1 was due for a child, and you'll meet Coach Laura if you haven't already. Coach Laura, her daughter Isabel Gallegos passed on Christmas Eve in her sleep. We also have Sergio Rodriguez, who suddenly, was tragically, lost. He was hit by a train. I mean, the students did not see that coming at all. We had, like I said, 2 suicides, rest in heaven, all these Buffaloes. And we also had one who was murdered in front of his home. Unacceptable. This is when we need to really come together as a community to rise up and to take charge and to figure out the solutions as what we can do together, Anna, as a village. To work together to bring in the necessary change that needs to happen. What do you think?
I agree with you. There's a lot still that needs to be done, and it's not just a one-person job. It's all of us working together to help the students, to help the children that are out there. For whatever reason, they're struggling, that we can give them hope through this program or whatever other resources, organizations that are coming together to let's put our differences aside so we can help one another and help these children that are struggling in school for whatever reason, and not judge each other because of where we're coming from, or put our disagreements aside because they're really struggling. For those that committed suicide, we don't know what they were really going through at home, but we just want to be there to encourage one another, to encourage each other that there's more you can do in life.
Absolutely. And I think that We all need it. We also had the privilege of speaking to, on a couple of occasions, to our families that were there at Milby, also having the coaching classes to train the trainer, to create more leaders, to go out there and to basically, be boots on the ground, an army, that village to speak to parents, because unfortunately, in most cases, there's not enough, we need to break the cycles that are happening, because people are just staying in a revolving door in this cycle. So I know that we're gonna have our caller. I'm gonna ask Jose Luis really quick. Oh, he put the thing down, but so it's a constant cycle that has to be broken. In my years of 20 years plus in the ministry community, 25 years working in hospitals with the less fortunate, with women that have been abused, working with children. In 2018, I joined the school district to see the chaos that's happening. And when I got a hold and I said, who do we call to talk about these things? I've spent my life in corporate America. I spent my life as a single mom most of the time, as a military mom. And I was like, who do we go to? And I went to the politicians. Bless your heart, politicians, whether you're left, right, blue, or red. I don't care. It's a work. It's a work. But what baffles me more than anything else, it's a work that can be done if we do it together. I mean, the point of it is that both parties have so much to offer. And when I'm listening to both, it's like, guys, listen, let's work in the middle. If we can get anywhere, let's go for the low-hanging fruit, politicians. Let's work it together. Okay, so I'm going to see real quick, did they call in? They're working on the call in right now to get our Melinda Stevenson. She is the founder of Clothed by Faith, an organization that has been there for Harris County and beyond. They have served thousands and tens of thousands, if not 100,000, in the last 12 years. You're going to hear more about her. So just stay tuned, continue to stay tuned as we connect with Melinda. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. If you're a caller out there and you have a suggestion on how we can bring this unity together, the community together in unification, we want to hear it. We need to hear it. If you were an organization that says, hey, listen, there are resources out here and we want to provide, and you want us to interview you and provide these resources out to the community that we're reaching, please call us. We want to hear from you. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is take it back to Anna and ask her about her experience in the coaching side, because she and her husband, Jesse, they did so many role playing. We did role playing. They did an impeccable job. I know that they serve in a local church together, working with marriages. What do you see when it comes to marriages and households and what have you, in your experience working with them and your experience in the Herald program, working with the parents?
Yes, thank you, Vicky, for that opportunity to speak to the parents in the coaching, which usually doesn't happen. It's usually the students that are meeting with teachers or volunteers, but we realize as a parent myself that we need to get more involved with our children at school, because yes, in high school, we probably want to give them more independent, which is true, for them to make their own choices, but we must not forget that, they still need our help in some areas. We're always going to be their parents, and they might be going through stuff and not tell us. So we just need to grow in that relationship as a marriage, and that will reflect to our children, something good for them to come talk to us. So it's just encouraging as parents. We're all going through struggles too. So I was glad that we had that opportunity talking to those parents to tell them, you know what, whatever you're going through, we all go through that, but our children need us. Because sometimes we go in our own little world and we're just like, they can do it on their own. They need to grow up, and which is true. But just like the suicides, maybe they have something they need to talk to us. And if we just try to push them away unintentionally, then we don't want them to go down that path. So it was just trying to encourage more healthy communication and breaking down the walls and just building that relationship.
You're right. And there was so much and I'm sure you saw that as well whenever there was parents crying in there because some of the words that were spoken to the parents and the students because they're both in the class together. I mean, that's the requirement. If they're going to join in the parent talks, in most cases, we would love to have the students there so these students can get some insight as to what and why they have to, have the growth mindset. And, there were stories that we had talked about and that parents were just in tears during these matters. And we've had students in tears. And we know that the HERO program is working and has worked in Milby High School. So we're so excited that we're going to talk about it during our HERO Impact Day on the 23rd, 3:30, right out of school. These kids are going to just come out and we are going to talk about it. Is she on? Okay, so she's coming on. Let's see here. A face in focus. Let's see here. Is she on? Melinda, can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yay, everyone. Melinda Stevenson is here, and she is one of my favorite people in our community. Melinda, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I have Anna here. Anna was a speaker from last night's event.
Hi, Melinda.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Anna.
Yeah, so we both have some questions for you. We thank you so much for being on our show on the HERO Network, and we want to just get some information, resources, and see how the community can help and partner with Clothed by Faith. In the meantime, do you want to share with the community and the listeners and viewers more about you, Melinda Stevenson, and who is the founder of the Deer Park location? And everything else that they need to know about Clothed by Faith?
I would love to. So, Clothed by Faith was started in Katy, Texas, back in 2013. And our founder is Abby Forey. And pretty quickly after she decided to start Clothed by Faith, she partnered with Suzanne Houston and Audrey Hosey, and they got busy meeting the need for clothing in the Katy area. And so I actually got connected with them in 2016 because God had placed on my heart to start a clothing ministry. And I found them on Facebook. And so I went out there and looked at what they did. And they asked if I wanted to open a branch in Pasadena because they knew that there was a need on this side of town. And so that's what we did. And so since then, we've actually almost served 150,000 people.
Yeah, I knew the number was up there. And so how long has that Deer Park location been open? When did you do that one?
So we opened in 2017.
2017. And you know what I appreciate about you so much, Melinda, is that you have the heart rather than reinventing the wheel, which so many people in the community and being in the community 25 years, there's so many people who have vision to do wonderful things. But these visions can't be done alone, people. You cannot work in silence. You must have a team. You have to have a team. And so for you to do what you did to partner in with Suzanne, it's amazing. So I really applaud you for that. I applaud you.
Thank you.
I applaud you to take on
so
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I applaud you for that, sis.
Well, I was going to say, and that's actually what we do on a regular basis. So we give a week's worth of clothing and we serve babies through adults, but we do it through partnerships with other agencies and schools so that they don't have to do clothing themselves. We serve as that resource.
Okay.
And so, like, for instance, we work with Houston ISD. You worked with us when you were a wraparound specialist.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about sorting donations and doing those things. You can get clothing from Clothed by Faith and focus on other needs that your families have.
Okay, Melinda, I have a question for you. For those who may not be familiar with what is Clothed by Faith and what services do you provide?
So at Clothed by Faith, we give a week's worth of clothing to children and adults in need. And we do that through partnerships with other agencies, nonprofits, and school districts across the greater Houston area. So those our partners, they they'll have a need with a child or an adult. They put in to our request system the the age, the gender, shirt, pant, and shoe size, and any preferences they have. And then our volunteers and staff take that request and they shop through our clothing inventory and they choose, like I said, a week's worth of clothing. It's basically 5 different bottoms, 7 tops, a jacket, dresses, new underwear, new socks, shoes, and accessories. And so that's packaged into a shopping bag, and it's really packaged like a gift. Everything's folded neatly, the outfits are matched together so that when that person receives their bag of clothing, it's not like they're just getting a bunch of clothes thrown in a bag. They're receiving really what looks like a gift.
And it's so beautiful, and it is so wrapped. I mean, it's in this little, just perfectly, this little brown bag. It's not a little brown bag, it's a big bag, and as though they went shopping. And you just tell them what sizes they need, and they even throw in a little extra goodie when it comes to a purse, when it comes to shoes and socks, and I mean, everything is just packaged so wonderful. And so you, of course, you've helped me in so many cases. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I remember one time there was a family that their home had burned down. They had absolutely nothing. One of my students, and they family came and they had nothing. And within 2 hours, they had clothes ready. And they said, come and get them. Come and get them. So I went out to the Katy office, picked it up. And you guys have been a blessing for many children who have had needs, who may have gone in immediately pulls from a home to go into a shelter or go into a grandmother's home. And sis, you guys have been there for me and for these families, because there's no way that is what we do as partners or the bridge, because that's what we are. I mean, as community, we're the bridge. I mean, they serve as a bridge, we serve as a bridge, but you have literally made life easier for us. And how can we make it easier for you? What are the day-to-day resources that you need in this organization?
Well, let me tell you, there's several things. So the basic thing is that clothing. Clean out your closets and donate to Clothed by Faith. And we will take everything. While we will only keep and give away the clothes that are in good condition, that we would basically wear or send our kids out of the house in, the clothes that you have that aren't in great condition, maybe there's stains or holes or it's old, it's out of style, we recycle that. And a recycling company pays us per pound. And that helps us to purchase new underwear, new socks, other clothing, and just pay, the other bills that come along with running a nonprofit. We also always need volunteers at either location. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, so you can volunteer anytime during that time. And then the other ask would just be financial donations. We're able to give that bag of clothing at a cost of about $25. And so donating $25, you give someone a bag of clothing worth approximately $300. And if you do that monthly, that's even better. That's 12 people a year that you're able to clothe with a week's worth of clothing. And just really, like the stories you told, there's thousands of stories just like that all over Houston.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, Melinda, are there any stories of transformation or impact that have stayed with you?
Yes. So I have a couple. We have, I remember this one. This is one of our school partners. And so there was a mom that had gone to the school personnel and said, my son needs glasses, but he's also outgrown all of his clothing. And I don't know what I'm going to do. And so it was actually a wraparound specialist, and she put in a request for clothing. And when she delivered to the mom, she was so happy because now she had money to buy her son glasses. And she didn't have to choose between glasses or clothing because we were able to provide the clothing.
Oh,
And then
Wow.
so more recently, we had a mom who had just gotten her kids back. She was working. She was trying to find a job. She had an interview that morning. So we got her some interview clothes real quick and gave her some clothes for her kids because they didn't have everything they needed. And so she was set for the interview. And I asked, what kind of job is she going to have? Because I wanted to be able to maybe put a couple of outfits in there that she could wear to work in addition to what we had already given her. And the job she was applying for was gonna require her to wear steel-toed boots. And we just happened to have in our inventory a pair of size 7 pink steel-toed boots. So we threw that in the bag with her for in her bag also just in case she got the job.
Wow, that's
oh,
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, it is. It is. That's so sweet. I mean, and these things, let me ask you something, Melinda. What about as far as like um, clothes for inventory, suits? Do you give that out?
Yes, we do. When
Okay.
we get suits donated, we keep them, we give them if somebody's asking for them. We also have a lot of times our nonprofit partners or our school partners will need suits for maybe it's a like we have a closet at the Juvenile Probation Opportunity Center, and so we've taken suits over there because those kids need them to wear to court. We've given some to some different organizations that are working with men that are going out to get job interviews and they need those suits. So we definitely take all that kind of stuff.
So do you hear that, viewers, listeners? I mean, if you have, this is an organization that is definitely worthwhile. That anything that you give will be recycled. And so when it comes to recycling, do you have, I mean, when you receive the clothes, you ask that they're gently used clothes? Do they have to be washed? What is it that you need to have? I mean, of course, we just don't want to just take them out and have them soiled or anything like that. Can you describe what it is that you do receive and how?
Sure. So we would love for the clothes to be clean. That is definitely an ask. Um, we do send clothes out for laundry if they're not, but if it comes in that way, that's the best way to do it. Um, and then ideally, what we do is we're going to sort through the clothing. Our staff and our volunteers are sorting clothes every day, and they are looking, like I said, to make sure that there's no holes, there's no stains, that things are in style, and then they sort through that. But you can do that ahead of time for us also. If you bring us stuff and you've already sorted through it and you can even label it like if you've got kids, so maybe this is a bag of boys size 10, 12, and you write that on the bag, and this is women's size medium, and you write that on the bag. That's even more helpful for us because it saves our volunteers and staff time. And the clothes that you look at it and you're like, okay, this is not, nobody's going to wear this. It's got stains, it's, got holes in it. Um, Put that in a bag and mark it with an R or write recycle on it. And then we'll throw it straight to recycle and we don't have to sort through it at all. That just really saves us time.
Nice, nice. And then what about as far as prom? I know prom just when it came in. Do you guys ever collect prom dresses or anything like that?
Yes,
Gowns?
we actually took about, I'm thinking maybe 150 dresses over to Houston ISD's Project Prom. We took some to Southwest schools. We've helped some other schools in the past year set up prom closets to where the kids they're able to reuse the dresses every year. Somebody borrows it for prom, they bring it back, they clean them, and they're able to use it again next year. So we are always taking prom dresses
Mm,
and like suits that the kids could wear, the boys could wear.
nice. And the shoes.
Yes, and shoes. Oh yeah, and
And
accessories too. In fact, we gave HISD shoes and purses that the girls could wear for prom.
nice. Hey, and listen, I know you said, I mean, HISD and what have you. I know for sure you're in Pasadena and LaPorte and all these other ISDs around. How many ISDs are you servicing right now?
So last year we serviced 21 different school districts, and I think we're about the same this year.
And what about the
And we
closet?
work
Go
with
ahead.
different people within each school district.
For sure. And then the closets. You mentioned something about the closets, about that you're building around and you're helping other organizations.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
Sure. We have our Closets for Schools program. It actually started in 2021. The first one was at Navarro Middle School, and it was all uniforms, and it served the Austin feeder pattern. So we had elementary and uh, junior high size uniforms in there. And then we also had our second and third closets were at Mission Milby and Robinson Elementary. And then we actually expanded in HISD to about 17 closets. But
Wow.
then we actually pulled some of them out whenever the wraparounds were moved off of the campuses. But we had put closets in the new Sunrise Centers, and those were all uniforms. So that's HISD. And then we also have one in Katy ISD at the Opportunity Awareness Center. We have one in Schulenburg ISD, Weimer ISD, and in Pasadena ISD at Metter Elementary, which kind of serves that Dobie feeder pattern elementary students.
Okay,
And then
Melinda.
we have one at the Juvenile Probation Opportunity Center.
Nice, nice. But in those locations, can we drop off?
No, you can't really drop off at the locations. Sometimes people do it Mission Milby and they take it, but for the most part, the closets are in the schools and they're not drop off locations. They're really just they're run by the school person. We manage them and the school personnel take care of everything else in there.
Okay, so the distribution to the collection sites will be, I know that we'll talk about the new location now, here shortly. I do believe that, Anna, you have a question?
Yes, Melinda. Um, what challenges has your organization faced during difficult times like natural disasters or the pandemic?
Well, so during the pandemic, we had to close for a little bit, but we opened back up in May. And so that was volunteers was a big need during that time because of course people were trying to stay away from each other. Um, and so but we were definitely able to overcome that and continue serving families during that time. And then during disasters, one of the things that happens during disasters is that people donate lots of clothing. And during the tornado, the most recent major disaster around here was the tornadoes that went through Pasadena and Deer Park back in 2023. And so we were the location drop off for clothing for the area. And so we got a lot of extra donations. And so, we always need more volunteers during that time. But one of the really good things there was because we're already working with the school districts. In Pasadena, we work with their social workers and their parent coordinators and their McKinney-Vento program. And so we were able to immediately meet those needs as the social workers were there helping families get the other resources they needed. They were able to immediately put clothing requests in. And so they got that right away. And so I'm sure that as we've learned how to do that better over the last few years, um, if there's something that happens this year, we definitely will be pretty organized and ready to at least be able to mobilize to help with clothing if that's a need.
And what are the goals? What are your goals for Clothed by Faith in the next 5 years?
Well, we really would like to be able to expand. This year, we're kind of in a foundation building year. We're trying to look at our processes and look at everything's, make sure that we've got all of our ducks in a row so that we're able to grow starting next year. And both of our locations need more space, which what we are hoping to be able to address that issue with our Deer Park location by moving to a new one-story space. And in Katy, we've gotten a little bit extra space in the building that we're in, and we're hoping to be able to continue that in the next 6 months and be able to even serve more people. But we're really working right now to make sure that as the school year ends, we want to make sure that we're serving our schools better, that we are able to just meet the needs, not just in Katy and Deer Park, but the north side of Houston, south down into Galveston County, and just really be able to meet this need for clothing and be a resource for all these different organizations that are meeting so many other needs, but just across the greater Houston area.
I like that. I'm looking at our producer here, Alento Radio, the founder. He's like has this huge smile on his face. Talking about, I'm like looking at him. He's like, you know, when you said North Side, that's where we're at here in the North Side. I mean, we are in the heart of the Aldine area, Imperial Valley, right here where our station is at. And you want to add anything, Jose Luis? Is there anybody that we can connect her to? So for this
Can
opportunity, I mean, because I mean, there's like what 25 like churches in the
We
school.
have, as a matter of fact, the idea of us is to bring the kingdom to all Greenpoint area. We have maybe like 8 buildings already full of people that needs. Like only one building stores 26 churches for people around the area, plus another 6 buildings that has offices with a lot of people that needs, and also churches as well. So there's a lot of people that need. So we're going to have a connection, big connection for sure. So maybe we can
Well, let me tell
exchange.
you,
Uh-huh.
we work with Aldine ISD,
Great.
and one thing we really need right now is, well, I guess for next school year, because the school's almost over, but so we take requests from all the counselors in Aldine ISD. We deliver all the requests to Odom Elementary, and we need somebody to pick up from Deer Park and deliver those requests on a more timely basis than we're able to do right now.
Mhm. Yeah, because right now the location, we're right here at the heart of like Imperial Valley and the Beltway 8. And I do know that
Okay.
Pancho Claus, I think you know who Pancho Claus is. You've heard of him?
Yes.
Yeah. So he too was looking for a place, and guess what? They just nestled him just right in. They nestled him right in here in one of these buildings, and he set up his art gallery. Everything that he's ever wanted, it's like it's here now. And because of Jose Luis and his team, Orlando Del Ced did just station him right here. So maybe this is an opportunity to set up a Clothed by Faith in one of these establishments, to set up another closet to where they can operate. And, you know, viewers, listeners, if you're listening and you're here, not only will we have toys over there with Pancho Claus, but maybe this is something, just a thought, just like
Yeah.
throwing those seeds out there to say that we could have a Clothed by Faith here, talk to the churches to say, how can we operate together to service this in partnership?
That's the idea, yeah. And there's a lot of people willing to help as well. So maybe you're going to have a lot of people that you're going to help, but also there's going to be people that will help you as well. So it's a team that we're working together to make a better Houston. So
Yay!
Yeah.
we'll get in contact. I don't know if I can get your information through Vicky.
Absolutely,
And
you
so
can.
I can go ahead
Definitely.
and put you in contact, and we can have a meeting and talk about and see what can we do together.
Yes, absolutely. Because, like I said, imagine being in a building with 26 churches and just partnering with them and bringing in some clothes, taking out, getting them delivered to where they need to get to. I'm just saying, anything is possible, right? So
Yeah, that would be amazing.
that would,
Can I say one more thing
sure.
about Clothed by Faith? So we've been talking about what we do, and what we do is amazing, and the impact that we're able to have is just, I can't even begin to describe how shocked I am that this is what God has done with what we started. But the reason we do it is really just so important to me. So Abby, our founder, when God gave her the vision to start Clothed by Faith, she was sitting in a church service with 2 little kids thinking, I can't go overseas right now. What can I do? And God showed her that there was a need right there in Katy. And the same thing with me. He used multiple different points in my life to equip me to be able to be ready when he put this on my heart. And it has just been so amazing to learn more about the need. And, when we're able to help like a single mom who's raising 3 kids, and we're able to give her basically $1,200 worth of clothing,
Mm.
that puts that back in her budget where she's able to spend that money on something else, or she doesn't have to worry about what are my kids going to wear to school, or what am I going to wear to my new job. And I just think that, you know, Jesus told us that we're supposed to, when he's talking about separating the sheep from the goats, he's talking about when I was naked, you clothed me. And that's really what we're doing. We are really working to help build God's kingdom here on earth while we're waiting for Jesus to come back. And it's
Amen.
just such a blessing to be able to know that we're probably the answer. These bags of clothes are probably the answer to thousands of people's prayers.
And
And
before
so just
everything,
being able to show them that God sees them and he loves them and he is concerned about their basic daily needs is just such an honor to be able to do that for him.
well, I see here in the comments from all the social medias, and there's a lot of people that asking, and how can I find more information to connect with you? How can they find you? How can they reach you? Because there's a lot of people that asking right now for that information.
Awesome.
Okay,
Yay.
great. So the best place is, so we have a website. It's clothedbyfaith.org. We're on Facebook and Instagram under Clothed by Faith and Clothed by Faith TX.
Okay.
So that's probably the best way. And then we have our location in Katy. We're right across the street from Kingsland Baptist Church on Dominion Drive. And you can find all that on our website too. And our Deer Park location is in the gym building of Deer Park First Baptist Church.
And then you're moving to Pasadena. You're going closer to Spencer.
Yes, so we have an opportunity to move into the new Oasis Community Center South. Asbury United Methodist Church is opening two new community centers in the Pasadena area. One is the one that we are going to be able to move into in Golden Acres, and the other one is in Parkwood. And they're going to be offering just different nonprofits and different services. There's through these community centers. And so we're excited to be a part of that and be able to be in one story space. Right now we're upstairs and there's no elevator. And so it's a lot of work and it kills your knees and you don't lose weight going up and down the stairs.
Okay, Melinda, so I have a question because this is the first time I'm hearing about this organization. And I know when I've had clothes that's like new, donated, I drop off or they pick up. Is this something y'all do too? Like y'all pick up or is it just drop off to your locations?
Right now it's just drop off to our locations unless now we do larger clothing drives. So if a church or a business or a school wants to do a clothing drive, we have vans and trailers that we can drop off and pick up all the clothing. Like for instance, this weekend we're taking our van to First Baptist Pasadena. And last week it was at CT Church on Alameda. And we do it with businesses. So we're able to do that. We're just not able to pick up from people's houses.
Okay, so the best thing would be to drop off at one of the locations that you have, that you just
Yes.
mentioned, correct?
And so if a church wants to have a collection site, let me ask you something. Like what areas, I know where you said north, is there any other areas around Harris County that you think that we can have a more collection sites that you would need or
Yes, I mean we could add more collection sites. What we have, and the best way we have one at First Baptist Friendswood, down in Friendswood, and so every week there's a volunteer from Friendswood that empties that donation bin and brings it to our Deer Park location. And that's really what we need to have a volunteer or someone who can help us get like if a church on the north side wants to be a donation drop-off location, if we could have a volunteer from that church who would be willing to deliver to either our Katy or Deer Park location, whichever one's closest, that's really what we need to be able to do that right now.
Nice.
In the future, we really would like to be able to have more donation bins and have our own drivers that pick up everything, but we're just not there yet financially to be able to do that.
Correct. But there's so many people that are watching, listening. I mean, you guys, please. I mean, if there's support that you can give, I mean, it takes a village.
Yes, it does. And now that there's more people that are going to learn about this organization, hopefully there'll be more volunteers to drop off into, like you say, until you get those volunteers that can pick up.
That's what it's going to take. I mean, it takes a village. And so if you're listening to this, please share this resource. This is a resource here that so many people need, children need. You never know. I mean, just like our coach Anna here that did not know about it, or maybe Jose Luis here. And it's like our brains are now storming. Like, what can we do here in the North Side together? So I've got a couple of connections for you. Melinda. And of
Okay.
course, I love what you do. I thank you so much. Is there anything, final words that you would like our viewers and listeners to hear?
Just that, we really are able to make an impact. It's not about any of us that are, doing this. We're all just a big team being able to share God's love through the gift of clothing. And if any of your listeners have any questions, they can definitely email me at melinda@clothedbyfaith.org. And I'd love to, any connections you have, I would love to pursue them.
Absolutely. Let's build up the North Side here. I know that that's been a vision of Mission One USA. That is the vision. It's we believe that together we can do more. Mission One, the resource and empowerment, Aliento Radio. I mean, this is the vision of Jose Luis here, the founder of the station, along with we have so many here in this area. It's about giving the people the resources they need, lifting off the burdens, and like you said, clothing the people. Exactly what the Lord has called. There's so many needs out there. So if you're cleaning out your closet, hopefully not outgrowing your clothes, but sometimes kids will do that. But when it comes to like me, I'm like, oh my God, I outgrew my clothes again. No, it's okay. We don't want to do that. But there's a place that will get them into the right hands. And so let's consider Clothed by Faith as that option of ours. So Melinda, we thank you so much, sis. I thank you so much for what you've done in the past, these years, knowing you and Sue and the Katie team. Thank you so much. And when you do get that flyer for the Pasadena location, please send it to me so I can get it out there on Mission One USA and share it.
I will do that. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate this. Was a great opportunity, and I'm just so thankful.
Oh, you're welcome, Mama. And I hope to see you next month at the at our study and at our Bible study.
I will be there.
Yeah, Anna did a great job yesterday, didn't she?
She did. Yes, it was fantastic. She did such a great job. I left just really feeling encouraged and inspired.
Yeah.
Thank you, Melinda. It was great to hear from
Thank you.
And maybe next time it'll be your story, sis.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
I
maybe
would
so.
love that, Melinda.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a great day.
All right, Mama. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is Melinda Stevenson. She's a blessing, and let's be a blessing to her. I mean, if anyone deserves, with the hard work the volunteer that she does, as executive director at Clothed by Faith, it's like, let's pay it forward. As Anna's always talking about, that's one of her favorite things. Is like always about paying it forward. Yeah.
Yes, that's one way to help one another. Like, we don't have to wait for someone. If somebody hasn't done it for you, then you start it.
That's right.
You could be the one to start that.
Yeah, you can start it, or you can just launch in with someone else and say, hey, I'm grateful for the supporters, like partners that I have, and the coaches, our team. I can, Anna, Mia, everyone else that's a part of our team, not just Anna Marie, and so many of us. Of course, our very own Victor Escalante and Ted Mendoza, Noe Martinez. Thank you so much. We can't do what we do without you all. So listen, y'all, share this video. Y'all, maybe it's a country, it's a hat, y'all. Share this video. Go on to, Mission One USA website. Follow us on YouTube. Like us on the social medias. We're on every social media platform. Thank you so much for watching us. Every week, we're on here to give you the resources that you need, because we love you, we believe in you, and we thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Aliento Radio.